and we're live. All right, so common function notes, example 1, just a little quick review about a function. You kind of have this machine, inputs, outputs. I know we did this in class earlier, but you put things in here, numbers or answers come out there. This is the rule. So this is called the K machine. This is the K function. And we're putting T's in the machine. So you can kind of think of this like an X, and then what pops out is the Y, but they use different letters. And so the rule, so the machine is doing 10 times whatever you put into it, take away 19. So when they say K parentheses -7, that's basically saying we want to put in a -7, and then we're trying to figure out what comes out. So I drop my -7 in. Boop, boop, boop. The computer says 10 times -7 minus 19. And out pops a -89. So in Khan Academy, you're just simply going to put -89. We're making a video right now too, so just to let you know. So that one I think is hopefully pretty straightforward. Getting into the next one, here's where it gets a little bit trickier. So we have a graph. This one only has one function on it. Some of the later sections are going to have two. So when you're looking at this, think about ordered pairs. So the x value is 2. The output here is the y value. So think of it as an ordered pair where it's saying, hey, when x equals 2, what does y equal? What's going to go over here? So I have to go to my graph and I have to look at everywhere where I have an x equals 2, which x equals 2 is right here. So when I come down, when x equals 2, y is -2. So you just put your -2 in there. I don't know why, but it always seems easy. But then we take the SAT, and like half the class misses these type of questions because they'll get it backwards. Like they might look at this and think that, oh, where is it 2 for y? And they might look over here and over here. You know, like this one has 3 different spots where the y value is 2. And they know that. So on their multiple choice test, they're going to screw it up. And they're going to put all the right answers, but for the wrong letter. Now here's where it starts getting a little bit tougher. So example 3, as you can see, there's a lot going on here. And you got to actually do some math. There's some arithmetic going on. So I have a -6 times, I'm going to put the value of f of -3 in here. And then we take away 5. And then I have to put the g function evaluated when x is -7 in right here. And then I got to do the math. I got to work it all out. So first big idea is, all right, where the heck is this value at? Where do I find it on the graph? Biggest mistake I've been seeing today is people are looking at the wrong function. So like on this one, the pink function is the g. The blue at the bottom, maybe I'll stick with blue. The blue at the bottom is the f. So I need to kind of look down here. You know, here's the function I'm looking at. And I need to figure out, well, when x equals -3, what's the value? So I go to the graph, -1, -2, -3. Go to the right function. We're talking the blue function. And it looks like my height is at -3 also. So that was kind of weird. The input and the output was the same value. So I substituted in. Now I go to the next part of the equation, and it says, hey, go to the g function when x equals -7 and tell me what y is. So I go over to x equals -7, right over to here. I go to the right function, which is the g function. Right there it looks like it is. So it looks like that's at -7, 6. So this value right here ends up being 6. And now we just got to make sure we don't screw up our math. There's nothing more frustrating than going through all that and screwing up our math. -6 times -3 is 18. Take away 30, which would be -12. And you pop that in there and it'll give you your little Congratulations, good job. So that one's probably the one that's giving people the most grief. Now the last one, once you kind of see what it's asking, I think the last section is pretty easy. So let's move on to that one. So number 4, what is the input value such that f of x equals 3? So this we're going kind of backwards. So this is saying, hey, what's the input value? What's the x? And they're telling us what y equals. Y equals 3. So I got to go to the y-axis, find 3. Everywhere on the graph where it hits, looks like right there. So it looks like that point is at negative 3, comma 3. And we need this x value. So it just seems like everything that people are doing today that are making mistakes, they're either looking at the x and writing the y when they're supposed to do the other, or if there's 2 functions, they're looking at the wrong color. All right, so when you guys go ahead, you can start Khan Academy. They're all out of 4. So if you get everything right, it'll be 16 questions. It'll go pretty quick. But if you get like a 2 out of 4 or 3 out of 4 and you want to redo it, just redo it and we're good to go. See you.